How's it hanging, dudes and dudettes? My name is Shawn. I love City Skylines, City Skylines 2. So if you do, please smack a like. Also subscribe if you want to stay in the loop, because guess what we're talking about today? That's right, the major disappointment within the community. The confirmation that there will not be bikes at launch. Now, that's not surprising to me. Disappointing, but not surprising, seeing as there's not even people on the motorcycles. Right? So there probably won't be models for the bicycles right now. And so that's a whole system that's going to have to be overhauled. Now, one thing I would say about bikes also, if any of you guys want to DM me or follow me on Twitter, I'll link that in the description below. But look at this person right here. It says ATYS. I love bikes, but I will prefer a complete DLC focused on them than just one more type of vehicle at launch. City Skylines 1 proved that it will evolve with time. City Skylines 2 needs a solid core gameplay, and without doubt will be better with time too. See, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. Now, everybody wants it to be in the game at launch, but do you want a half-baked product at launch with just everything thrown in there just to appease people, or do you want them to take their time and do it right? We know that this game is going to be supported for years. Some people's a fan of that. Some people isn't a fan of that. But to me, I would rather have a game supported over 10 years with a bunch of different content coming out. Bike's probably going to be one of the first things that come out, just to be honest. And, you know, the real problem is, do you really want to see, you know, a fully fledged game at launch with 1 or 2 DLCs and then a dev cycle of 3 or 4 years, City Skylines 3 comes out? You don't want that. Nobody wants that. We want to have a game to last the ages, just like its predecessor, CS1. Another more reasonable person on this Hacker News forum that I kind of follow about City Skylines, it's kind of like a better version of Reddit, kind of. But people are kind of upset about that. Like the very top person says, my main gripe with the original game, is that it wasn't possible to create walkable or cyclable cities. Somebody down here says bicycles exist in the current game. They were brought in as a free update. Roads with dedicated cycle lanes were introduced as a official add-on, but by default, pedestrians and bikes will share sidewalks. I imagine the new game will roll out a lot of official add-ons to the base game. I also heard that that they hired some of the community mod creators, which is exciting news. So, another person who doesn't necessarily expect every single thing to be in the base game, because then what do they have to work on, right? I mean, let's be honest here. So, the Paradox Forum, it is just blowing up. People are so this whole month they've just not been happy. I've been kind of avoiding this, but I guess today's the day, right? So, personally, this is a huge disappointment, this person goes on to say, as bicycles have become such a core feature of CS1, especially after the recent updates, which made more roads with bike lanes available in the game. Yes, that was a recent update. It didn't come with the base game. That's one thing people have to keep in mind. Right here it says, it came, someone says, maybe I'm wrong, but bicycles came in CS with the After Dark, which is one of the later DLCs down the line, right? Yes, it came with 3 roads and bicycle lanes, and that is all it had for years, until recently. Now, after at least 14 roads with bicycle lanes have been added, I hope CS2 will allow cross-DLC things from the start. I don't think that'll happen. What do you mean cross-DLC from some CS1, or what are you talking about? I don't know. All I do know for a fact is that it is disappointing and it sucks, but it doesn't mean we're not getting it. You know what I mean? I would rather have not even a DLC. I'd rather just have like a small add-on for bikes, and then have a separate package for like different types of bikes, different types of roads, different types of bike lanes and stuff like that, right? I am really excited to see where Paradox and Colossal Order go with CS2. There's a lot that they can be adding, especially because they're, you know, trying to focus on realism. Now, one person could say, well, my realistic city of my dreams has bicycles. Well, your realistic city of your dream will have bicycles at launch. It's just the way it's going to be, guys. It's really not that big of a deal. You know, we'd rather have bikes sooner than later. That's obvious. But we don't want to give them a reason to push bikes back even further. People being so upset about it will kind of put a fire underneath their butts to get that into the game as quick as possible. But also, if you do it too much, they might just make you wait just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? I kind of would. You know what I mean? Like, people are just outright mean to Colossal Order about not having bicycles when bicycles wasn't even in the original game to begin with, right? A lot of people tend to forget that. But you have to realize that City Skylines is not a AAA title that gets released and then in 2 years they release a second version and then a third version and then a fourth version. No, you have a game to stand the test of time for a long time. And they will be adding a lot of stuff. They've already added a bunch of the stuff from a lot of the DLCs from the original game, like they've been overhauled and remade to fit the new game. Bicycles just aren't one of those. It is unfortunate. But it's not the end of the world. We will get those. Let's just allow them to have that sooner rather than later. So let's put wind beneath Colossal Order's wings. Tell them that, hey, you got the mod community, you got us behind your back. What can we do to make this happen first? Is it going to be a DLC first? Is it going to be an expansion? Is it going to be an add-on? What's going on? And it's just really not that big a deal. So everybody needs to take a breath, calm down. It's unfortunate. It's disappointing. But it's not a deal breaker because we will get bikes eventually. And you don't want to be that person who's 4 months behind on the game and then finally they drop their first DLC package or something like that. And then you're like, oh, well, that gives me everything that I actually wanted from the game. Now I have to go get the game and all this other stuff. And, it just, don't be that guy. Don't be that person. You know what I mean? It's just not that big a deal. It's really not. Everybody just calm down. Everybody breathe. Everybody breathe. But if you want to pour out your frustration in the comment section, I'll be right there with you guys. So, I know it's kind of a small one, kind of a rambly video. It's kind of a, unscripted thing, but it's something we had to talk about. It's something we had to, rip the Band-Aid off. Because I didn't want to seem like I'm ignoring it, because I'm not. I do appreciate everybody who's followed me on Twitter so far. We got 8 followers. That's pretty cool. I'll take that, you know what I'm saying? So, if you got good stuff, I'll retweet you, stuff like that, If you got good things you want me to share, I can do that too. But otherwise, until next time, piss off.
2 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1, from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy.